Hello and welcome. I hope you're good. I've managed to get out for the day really, to escape from the world, go and check out an old spot that I used to go to a long time ago, obviously. I haven't been out for a while, I haven't filmed for a while, and I've got my old day pack here with me, my extensive day pack I would say. It's not all the stuff is in here every time I come out for a little day scout or a day out, but it's sort of the one I use to cover all my bases. I've got about 45 minutes, I'm guessing, to walk to the spot from here, to walk to the spot where I want to head. An old favourite of mine, place where I used to go, and I'm going to bring me pack and I'll delve into it with you if you're interested a bit when I get there. So yeah, it's the Helikon bergen. Like it. Yeah, it's a beautiful early autumn day. I'm heading up there. Now where that's showing up on the camera. I've seen a few people. Old gentleman there, another gentleman walking their dog, just getting out. Everyone's got a smile on their face. Not like when I'm in town, but that's another good thing about the countryside. People just seem happier. Anyway, over there we're off to. They've felled a few trees up here since I was up here last. Yeah, I don't know if it was tree fellas or if it was four fellas. Yeah, so I'm heading to a spot that I've camped before, just to check out if it is a viable option. Yeah, I'm basically trying to get over there, so I might have to head back out there around that way. I'm sure there was a cut through by this tree, but it has been, I don't know, a while since I've came here, especially coming from this direction. So, but we'll get there. I don't know whether to bushwhack it through there. That's the reason why it's quite a good spot, because obviously you've got a footpath and a track where vehicles sometimes come up here, the old forestry commission and whatever, and people walk, and then it's a little bit of a way in them woods, this spot, so it's out the way but not too far from getting to a path as well, where I know my bearings, which is why I haven't brought a map and a compass, but I'll go into all that when I go into the pack in a minute, because I'm familiar with the area. Even though now I'm wandering round and I'm trying to make a shortcut, which may end up taking me longer than if I went round and stuck to the path in a little gap. Cool. Nearly. Try and feel the floor under my feet before I commit, because there was a hole there, but we're nearly there now. This video is going to turn out longer than I intended, but I do tend to get carried away. You see him? Don't really want him down your neck, do you? Spider season. Ah, this could be it. Yeah, I'm saying I don't want to wander out aimless, because there's loads of spider webs going between the trees, and there's some big nasty looking spiders on there. Not that I'm overly concerned with them, but I just don't want them crawling on me, you know. I'll avoid them, leave them to it. This is the spot, I think. This is it. Ah, yeah. This is the spot. Finally. Yeah, this is the spot. So I've got to log this. I can log this in my head. Log this in my head as to where it is. I sort of wasn't too far off. I'd overshot it, gone up there. But anyway, this was the purpose of me coming out personally, was to just find this spot again and see if it was still the same, because I liked it here. It's yeah, it is. But I was talking about the gear I bring out for a day in the woods, or a day's wandering, and that can vary. You got to take into consideration a few things, like how far are you going, how familiar are you with the area, what's the weather likely to be, and what are the chances of you getting stranded, or even deciding I'm going to stay out if the conditions are right and the mood is right and you want to. So that's what I've got in this kit basically, although it wouldn't be ideal for the dead of winter, but I don't know if I said earlier, I could supplement that. But like, first thing I do, and these are no right or wrong ways, these are just things I've gathered through my own experiences and through researching other people who do this sort of thing. The first thing I consider is my clothing. Is it going to protect me from whatever weather and elements I'm likely to encounter? Am I going to be able to sort of keep myself warm and dry basically? And am I going to be able to keep myself cool if it's hot? Layers is always a good thing. If you're into this sort of stuff, you know all about the importance of layers, taking them off, putting them on to insulate and to vent and to, all that. And also with clothing, so I've got clothing here that I'll be comfortable in. If it started raining quite hard, I'd be alright for a little while. It would keep me dry and comfortable enough to give me time to get in there, to get all my other insulating and waterproof gear, which I'll show you in a little while, so I'd be okay. Or if it was just a passing shower, fine, these sort of keep a bit of the wet off, but then when they do get wet, they dry very quick. This is shower proof. I could wax this, and it'll do the job for me. And I've got other stuff in here which I'll come to in a little while. But also stuff you have in your pockets, because you might not always want to bring a big day sack. It's quite big for a day, isn't it? It's like an 18 litre pack with, I don't know, are they extra? I don't know if they're included in the 18. This is the Helikon bergen. So you don't always need that. Sometimes you might be able to just get away with what's in your pockets and like a little canteen set up, or a little haversack. So I've got bits and bobs that might come in handy in my pockets. I've got a little set here with a little fire steel. It's got a little buff thing. I've got a lighter, little fire steel, little Wapanel number 8, a bit of fat wood. Just easy at hand, not including what's in the bag. I've got, what else I've got my phone in here, my wallet. Then in here I've got a few bits, my glasses, my keys. I've got a little torch on, a little lighter, a little Swiss Army knife, just little handy bits and bobs that might come in handy for various reasons. Car keys, house keys. Got another little Swiss Army tool, courtesy of an old camping buddy, Mr. Hardy Tempest. This has been invaluable to me. Little Swiss Army knife. It's got the knife on there. It's got a little saw on there. It's got a bottle opener, a can opener, various little screwdrivers. Yeah. Not sure if it's got an awl. Yeah. It's got a fair. It's a handy little thing to just have with you. I have this everywhere, at work, when I'm going out, anywhere. I bring this with me. The amount of times I find it handy is unbelievable, to be honest with you. But yeah, clothing and what you've got in your pockets. First thing I consider, is it going to cover me for, when I'm wandering. And then the pack. Like I say, you don't have to bring a big old pack. But it depends what you're doing, depends on the situation, depends what you're wanting, depends what your purpose is of being out. My purpose is just to get out, basically, and just to be covered, to be comfortable, and have a comfortable day in the woods. So I wouldn't always bring this much. This is sort of my extensive kit. I've got everything I'd need in here, apart from maybe some first aid gear, which I could improvise out of the stuff here, if need be. But I'm familiar with this area. I know how to get out of here that way, and that way. I'm very familiar with this area. Obviously in the dark, I could find my way out in the dark as well, pretty easy. So, but if I was going somewhere unfamiliar, I would definitely bring a map and a compass. If I was going somewhere unfamiliar and venturing off a fair distance from my car. But anyway, yeah, the pack I've got here is the Helikon bergen. It's a cracking pack. It's an excellent day pack. It's a good summer overnight pack, and even at a stretch a winter one, because you can add to it from what you can fit inside all the compartments. You can add a bedroll or a tent or a tarp or whatever on the top. I would generally mostly add it on the bottom, because when I have things on the top, I notice from going through areas that are a bit overgrown, it keeps getting caught over your shoulder and stuff, and yeah, not always, but it's an option. But I would generally do the bottom, just strap stuff to the bottom. And it's got extra molly, so the outside of it, you can hang bits. You've probably seen this pack. I'm just showing my day pack, my setup. You can hang bits off the molly here. It's got molly on where you can hang bits off the belt. I don't always use the belt, but I am today. Sometimes I just fold it up. You can hang bits off there. It's got molly on the straps, so you could extend and it carries a fair amount of weight quite well. Not like massive, but like, yeah, quite well. And you've got little sliders here behind this pocket. I've got a saw in there. Bucko, a reliable thing. I've had that ages, and I can be rough with my gear and it's not broken. Ages. Simple Mora companion, should do most stuff I need to do. Mora axe, hatchet, which I wasn't going to bring out, but yeah, ordinarily I wouldn't bring that. And then in the top, what have I got in the top? There's a little zipper up here, which is fairly substantial. I think all I've got in there is a couple of books, a bit of reading material, food for free, which I keep getting worried the thing's going to fall apart, and the little SAS thing if I'm just laying under the poncho, which is what I've got in here today. I haven't got a tarp, I've got a poncho, and there's reasons for that for a day camp, and even an overnighter sometimes. Then in here I have an assortment of stuff. Handy little outside pocket for things you want to get to quickly. I've got a millbank bag if needed. I've used that a few times, but I am saving it for emergency type use if I need. I've got some snacks, just simple little mug shots. I've got a little brew kit with a few 3-in-1s and a couple of tea bags. I've got a little thing there with powdered milk. Another little bar, naked bar. Just a few snacks. Bushbox, I wouldn't always bring this, but it's there if I need it. And then I've just got a little notepad and a pencil, just if I want to do any drawing, write any notes, faff around, play noughts and crosses. Whatever. Just handy to have. Any little reminders I need to know, that I just always bring it with me. And then in here, I just have the first and building surfaces TBS. No, the bushcraft store bottle, 1 litre I think. The nesting cup's in this side. That goes with that. Cordage, jungle knots, etc. A few plastic pegs. I could make pegs if I needed. So I might not even need to set up a shelter in the daytime. But I am going to today, just for purposes, just to practice using this kit. Because I haven't done for a little while, to be fair. And then here I've got the cup. That's me being all fingers and thumbs. I've got the cup there, and I've got a trandur in there with the little trivets, so I can brew up. So I've got the options there, and me little spork. And I've got the options there of using the trandur in there, or I'm quite capable of making a little fire in the bush box. But yeah, doesn't have to be a bush box. They're expensive. You can get a Lixada. Then inside the pack, Look at me chucking this all around the floor like a messy bugger. Got a few bits. Hat, I always bring an extra hat with me. Always bring a little beanie or a little wool hat. Some gloves, these are insulated ones, but just leather gloves, or if it's winter you bring some warm ones. A shamag, that's an excellent multi-use item for all sorts of things. A headscarf, a scarf, a face mask, something to sit on, something to insulate you a little bit, char cloth, first aid uses, a sash, yeah, there's loads of it. Filtering water even, pre-filtering before you boil it, that is. And then there's a little pocket here where I've just got a few electrical bits. I've got a little Anker power bank, yeah, I can't remember the 10,000 milliamps I think, and some extra cables for my phone, for my head torch, which I've got in my pockets here somewhere. I've got a head torch in here, I always have just right there, and I've got the torch on me key ring. So, and then also in here I have a few little bits. This is just a little, I think it's a little possibles, but that's mostly fire stuff for lighting fires. I've got some, they're wax, they're them pads, cotton wool pads, soaked in Vaseline and then soaked in wax, and then you just split it a bit and you can ferro rod that up, and that will give you a good start for a fire if you're struggling with your birch bark and your birch bark and your fat wood. There's another little fire set in there with some bellows and some more tindery stuff, and another little ferro rod, which I've got a ferro rod in my pocket. I've got and then we've got some Nordic Summer, some Vaseline, a little lighter, another ferro rod, another bit of fat wood, Vaseline lips chap thing, which is handy for lots of things. So it's just a handy little kit. In the little David Fry's pouch, which I've used loads for all sorts of things. I really like it. I do like it. Now I have another David Fry's pouch. I don't know the name of it, what it's called, what size it is. Where is it? Yeah. With just a few bits and bobs I can do, you know, a few little carving bits. I've got some bank line stuff, some bit of duct tape, that's really handy for repairing little things. Even as a first aid, we've used some of that to make a plaster or whatever. Repairing things, a fire starter as well. A little strop, little sewing kit from Brown's Bushcraft, I believe. Carving implements. Little knife and I think they're Beavercraft. Little magnifying glass, handy for just seeing little things, maybe starting a fire even if I lose my glasses, and a DC4 for sharpening me bits, which I'm probably due. No, that's not too bad. Yeah, and a little DC4, so if I want to do any little crafts or anything while I'm out, I can. So this is a pretty extensive kit for a day camp. You don't have to bring all this. This is just, depends how long you're staying out for, where you're going and stuff, doesn't it? And I know I'm waffling, and I'm sorry. I can't help it. Oh, I'm excited to get out. And then also in here, poncho. Now that's an ideal bit of kit for a day bag. It really is. Obviously it's your waterproof, it's your shelter. This one can be can also be like a bivvy bag around what I've got in here as well. Yeah, really handy bit of kit. Has saved my, well, it's made it more comfortable for me on a number of occasions. That thing is the Helikon Tex one, but I don't know, that wasn't that expensive when I got it, but it might be a bit more expensive now. So if you're on a bit of a budget, you could go for like a army surplus ones. The Dutch ones are meant to be real good, but I don't know because I haven't got one. And I do have a bivvy bag as well. I'm not planning on staying out with this kit, but this bivvy bag can be used to insulate me in the night on top of what I've got in here, which I'll show you. I've done it in the wrong order, which I'll show you in a minute. But it can be used as, yeah, as a ground sheet, and if I am stuck out, yeah, and I could even maybe even stuff it full of browse and make a browse bed. Whether or not it would be sturdy enough for that, probably would be for leaves, but if I was using branches and stuff, probably not. But yeah, that's tiny though, but handy to have. Hopefully not handy to have, because hopefully I won't need it, but like, yeah, I do use it as a ground sheet sometimes as well. And then I've got a cracking bit of kit that I love and I use a lot. It's a coat, it's a poncho liner, it's a sleeping bag, it's the Helikon Swagman roll, and it's such a multi-use bit of kit. So it really is a ground sheet, a blanket, a sleeping bag. You can use it for loads of stuff. I've done a video on it, and there's loads of videos about it, but it's a really handy bit for a day kit. You know, I wouldn't wear it round the town unless I was really desperate. I wouldn't, but out in the woods and that, or out and about, sort of, you know, out the way. Excellent. So that's it in there, and then I've got a couple of little bits down the back here actually. Little windshield and some stuff to eat and drink out of, which is not a little Wildo set, which is not always necessary. You know, sometimes all I need is the cup, and sometimes you can just eat out of there or drink out of there if it was bothered. But like, it fit in there. It's not hardly any weight. It's just, yeah, handy, cracking little bit of kit really. That's all you need for your food and to eat off and drink out of. Although some people don't like eating and drinking out of rubber and that. I don't know what sort of material it is. It's obviously food grade safe, but yeah, I can understand that to a degree why people don't. But yeah, that is pretty much, that would have me covered for 24 hours. I'm pretty sure I could supplement it with a browse bed and a fire. If situations were dire, I would light a fire. So yeah, so I've got a little bit of food to see me through. Not loads, I'd still be a bit hungry, I'm sure, but that'd see me through. If I was to get waylaid, benighted, or whatever they call it, stranded, yeah. So I'm going to chill out here for a while now. I don't know if I'll carry on the video at all. I'm going to have myself a brew. I'm going to chuck the poncho up between these two trees, if there's not a big massive spider web. There's one there, yeah, between these two trees. Plonk me bum down there, sit and enjoy this view. Probably have a brew and a bit of pasta, and maybe carve a stick into something resembling a spatula or a spoon. Maybe. Yeah, there's the poncho set up. Plenty of room. Nice under there. There's the bivvy bag down. That's just as a ground sheet, just somewhere for me to sit where I don't get ants in me pants or grassy ass. So yeah, nice place just to chill. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a brew and a little paleo bar thing and chill out. Yeah, so you can do a kit like this for quite, you know, a reasonable price. You don't have to use the Helikon bag. You can get like a military surplus. You can get a military surplus bivvy. You don't have to bring a bivvy, it's just my preference because I think it covers a few bases for me. You can get a military surplus poncho. This is expensive. This is the Helikon Swagman roll, but you can get like a military poncho liner Wooby for like a reasonable price. I don't know what they'd cost now. I don't know what they'd cost, but you know, do a similar job. Quite often, if it's not too cold and I'm chilling out and I've done a few little bits and bobs, I just use it as a little pillow as well. Anyway, I better not do that. Yeah, use it as a little pillow and yeah, crash out. Crash out for a bit. Do that. It was quite windy earlier, but there's hardly a breeze in here, so I was going to use the shield on there, but I don't think I need it. Let's get a brew on. Get a brew on and chill for a bit. Need to get some more of them. They're handy, and they are actually, I find they are really nice in this small cup. They're better in this small cup than in a bigger cup. They're more flavoursome. Well, I think they are. But this is a nice spot. I have overnighted here a couple of times in the past. Don't know how many times exactly. It's not the sort of place. I don't go to the same place when I do have an overnight. I don't go to the same place that week and then next time go to the same place. And I have a couple dotted about. And I might start looking for some more, but I'll probably wait till the spring, all being well, because there are other issues going on. I don't know if you saw my last video about Cody. He's doing really well at the minute, but now my partner, she's got some issues, but well, I don't know what's going on there yet. So it seems to be one thing after another the last year, 18 months. It's been a bit mental. Peaceful forest therapy. I just found a little bit of fat wood and I just thought I'd practice. I ain't made a fire with fat wood for a little while, and I just thought I'd just practice just to see if I could do it with my ferro rod and my knife and that there. I just made a tiny little fire. But yeah, keep your skills in. Anyway, I'm nearly ready to go. If you've watched all of me waffling and found anything useful or helpful or interesting or anything, then thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.